Hello everybody, welcome back to another WordPress tutorial. This is for a client in Litchfield, First Baptist Church, and we've recently completed their WordPress website, and I'm just going to kind of go through everything from start to finish. It's going to be kind of a quick overview, everything from logging in to making some changes to a page to creating a blog post. I did a separate video for the events. The events are all done through a shared Google Calendar, so it should be pretty familiar and pretty easy for you guys to tackle that part of it. But I wanted to kind of take some time here just to go through the basics of WordPress, show you the dashboard and some other things you can do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and log in to the back end of the WordPress website. And basically, if you just go to firstbaptistlitchfield.org/wp-login, and I've sent this link to you via email. So if you hang on to that email and click that link, that'll take you right to this spot that I'm at here. And we're going to use Lisa's login, and her username is Lisa H. Password was emailed to her, and we're just going to hit login, and let's take this thing for a spin here. So when it loads up, it's going to load up to your dashboard. It's going to give you some pretty basic quick information here. If you do decide that you want to start tracking some statistics on your website, there's a free plugin for that called WP Statistics that you can kind of add that to your dashboard too. It's kind of handy to have. If you decide you want to do that, let me know. The nice thing about WordPress is it grows with your organization. So if you guys start getting to the point where you have some things you want to accomplish, let me know, and I can kind of tell you how we can utilize and integrate the website and plugins into your big picture on what you want to accomplish there. I mean, you can have your church membership all done through the website here. There's almost an unlimited amount of things you can do here, but that'll be a separate video on some of those plugins. I may do that a little bit later here for you, just to show you some of the things you can do. There's instant chat. There's a lot of different things, but I'll save that for another video before this one gets too lengthy. So your dashboard, underneath you've got post, and basically what this is just a blog post. So if Pastor Jason or Lisa or anybody else in the organization wants to have their own blog, it can be done here. And everybody can have basically their own blog, and you can kind of separate that by categories if you want to. So let's just go into add new, and I'll show you how the blog post works. This is just a little welcome here. We'll get rid of that. And I always use the standard editor. It's pretty nice. And you've got some options over here for the block, which is the media block that you're on right now. And then if you click on document there, this is your actual options for this document. So visibility, you can do public, private, password protected. So if you want to put some stuff out there, but you only want certain people to see it, you can password protect that. Public is probably going to be what most of you are going to pick. And publish, you can either do it immediately or you can schedule this stuff too. So let's say you want to put some blog posts out there, but you have time to do those posts now, but you don't want anybody to see them until after your Sunday sermon. You can go ahead and set up all your blog posts and schedule them to become public. So that's kind of a nice feature. And then you look down here to your author. You can pick who's actually creating this blog post. You can click on this to stick it to the front page if you want. I probably wouldn't use that in your case. If you want to do something like that where you put some of these on the front page, let me know, and we'll kind of work on adding a category and a little section on the website there for you, just to kind of keep the design looking sleek. Here's categories. So if you want to add a new category or choose the category that this blog post falls into, let's say Sunday readings is a category we want. We'll just hit add new category and you'll see that becomes available there. And then we can also do general information, and we can do add new category there. And then now we've got a couple categories to choose from, and this can be anything. It can be geez, anything you want it to be. Financial, it can be music, it could be pretty much anything, but we're just going to go through and do a test one here. So I'm going to do test blog post for my title, and I'm actually going to go in and make this general information. There's tags down here. You can add tags if you want to for so it'll show up in searches. Featured image, you can add a featured image to it if you want. You can also add images down here in your actual blog post if you want to. Excerpt, description, pin Ninja form. Ninja forms is a completely different section, but basically that's what your contact form is made in. So you can make a form for anything. You can make a form for people to fill out that would submit prayer requests, for instance. Anything like that. So the Ninja forms that's probably for a separate video too, but if you had a form that you wanted to embed into this post, that's where you would do it. And then you also have layout down here, which I would just leave on default. If you want to change that up, you can. You can use custom and just do this one. This one and this one are probably the two that would actually tie into your website. So it doesn't matter which one you use. I would probably just leave it on default. So now that we've got our title in, we can go in and start typing whatever we want in our post here. And you'll notice you can put anything in here. You can just start typing out what you want. This is a test blog post for examples to the end user. So I've got that. I can just come down here and click and make a new. You can obviously keep going here. You know, just keep typing away if you want. You can also add a new block if you want to. So we can come down here, and if you click out of it and click back into it, you'll get some options up here where you can left justify, center. We can make this stuff bold and italicized. You can insert a hyperlink if you wanted to take it to people to be able to click on examples and be taken to a different website. You can type that into here. You can strike through. Let's see. You can remove the block. There's all kinds of stuff you can do here. So let's say we've got this part of it finished, and I want to put a new block in here. And we can do insert before or insert after. And what that means is we want to put the new block before this text or after it. So I'm going to do after. And I'm going to insert a new block here. And you've got some options here. You can add your Ninja form. You can add an image or text. If you want to add an image, you can upload it from your computer, or you can hit the media library and do some stock photos or something that's already been uploaded to the website. So I'm just going to choose one of these. It's a picture that's already been uploaded to the site. So we're going to plop that in there. And you can write a caption here. If you want to name the people, let's just say John and Jim in deep conversation, and that just shows up as a heading there. And then you'll notice I click down here, and it's asking me, hey, do you wanna go with another section or another block here? So I can do that just by starting to type and test wording, and that's pretty much it. And once you get it done there, you can just hit publish, or you can do preview. Let's click preview, and you'll see it's just going to create a preview of what your blog post is going to look like. And that's it. So when somebody clicks on the blog post, this is what they're going to see. And I'll show you, this kind of goes back to when I go to document here and I go down to the layout. So if you look at the layout, you'll see how it's got a bar at the top and a bar down the side. And this bigger section here is where your blog post is going to be. Well, that picture ties into what we actually see here. So we've got this at the top here with the search bar, and then in this area here we've got our blog post, and then over here we've got recent posts, recent comments, and archives. Now if I wanted to change that look, I could go back here and go to custom. I could choose this, and what that's going to do is take this sidebar out of it. So let's go ahead and preview that look now after I made that change. And you'll see it takes that sidebar out of there. So that's just kind of personal preference, however you want it. And you can see that people can comment, leave replies on the blog post if they want. You don't have to allow that. If you guys decide that you'd like to get rid of that, just let me know. We can disable that feature for you. But if you want to go ahead and publish this, you can just go ahead and hit publish, and that would actually publish this blog post to the website. So we'll just hit publish, and it's going to ask you again, do you sure you want to publish this? Hit yeah, and then you can hit view post. That's going to take you to that blog post. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard. I'm going to go to posts, and this time I'm going to do all posts. And what that's going to do is bring up a list of all the blog posts that are in here. And you'll notice, some of these blog posts we have, like men's ministry, youth ministry, these are portions of the website. So anything that's uncategorized here, you probably want to leave this stuff alone. So this test blog post, I'm going to go ahead and hit trash because I want to delete that. I don't want it to be part of the website. And then this kind of gives you a quick overview too of the author of the blog post, what category it is, and if there's any comments and when it was published. So you see this one that they've got in here, it's kind of an example blog post, and you can see this little icon here. It shows me that somebody's made a comment on that. So what I can actually do is go in and look at that blog post, and let's see, we can do preview, and that should show us the comment as well. Yeah, so this will show you a blog post with a comment. This is the blog post. It's just an example. And then down here you can see, somebody had made a comment here. And what it is just an example content. So it's a comment that that we have put in here just to kind of show you how this all works and ties together. So let's go back to the dashboard again. And let me go to all posts again. And I'm going to go ahead and delete that sample blog post too. So we'll just hit trash on it. And it's off there. So that's all there is to posts. You can go to categories here and add your categories if you want. Or you can add them on the fly, but you'll see the two that I added on the fly there are in here. Here's tags if you want to go in and add some tags. But as far as creating a blog post, it's pretty quick and simple. And it's one of those things that, it takes time to kind of build a blog, but if you want to get started with this and you've got some questions, feel free to shoot me an email, and I can kind of help you go through that process, or you can refer back to this video and kind of start it on your own. Events, we kind of covered that already in a separate video, so I'll leave that go. The next section is media. This is your media library of all your pictures. So if you want to add some more pictures, or if you want to add a picture to the website, you have to. What you'd want to do is upload it to your media library first. You don't have to, but it's a little bit easier that way, I think. Pages, if you want to add a new page to your website, this is where you would do it. Comments, if you want to go in and say somebody's posted a comment that is derogatory or spam or something you don't like, you can click in here to comments, and you would actually be able to get rid of that. Um, there's nothing in here right now, but if there were something in here, it would show up here, and it would give you some options to approve it or to trash it or mark it as spam. Calendars we won't go through. Profile is just your user profile on the back end of the website. So, if you wanted to kind of change your color scheme or change your first or last name or anything like that, you could do that through here. You could add a picture of yourself too if you wanted to. You could change your password if you wanted to. Tools, there's probably nothing for you to really do in here. It looks like it comes up blank anyway, so it's just kind of this would be more of a section for us for administrative purposes. So let me kind of go in and show you how the page builder portion of this works. Like I can go up here and go to view site, and that's going to show me the site here. And let's say we're going to go to the membership page, and let's say I want to edit some of this text here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this Beaver Builder. This is kind of a graphical interface that will help you edit this website. So we're going to hit Beaver Builder. And once we do that, it's going to kind of separate and segment this stuff out here. I'm going to go no thanks because I've already seen this. But let's say we want to change some of this text. Well, now that we were in the Beaver Builder, you can see there's a container box here. And then if we go back inside it over this text, there's a text box here. So if I click on that, there's my text. So now I can go in and edit any of this text. So let's just say that I want to bold this site or bold this paragraph right here. I can just highlight it, click bold. You can see it change in real time. And then we can just hit save. And we can go through the rest of it, make our changes. And once we're all good, you'll see up here, there's done and then publish. So once we hit publish, that makes those changes live. So just remember that when you make a change and you click that publish button, that's people can see that change now. So let's go back in and undo my changes. So I'm going to go back into Beaver Builder. Beaver Builder is kind of like your editor. You can think of it as a page editor. So I'm going to click back in my text area here, and I'm going to take this little sentence that I bolded. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to unbold it. I'm going to hit save. And now that I hit save, I can go to other spots and make changes in it too. But I'm just going to hit done and publish now. And then let me go to another page that's got more content that'll kind of help you understand a little bit more of this. But let's say I'm going to go to my About Us page. And we're going to make some changes here to some pictures and some text. So let's say we need to add a custodian. Let's say Mark Carpani he's been employed as a new janitor for us here. So I'm going to go to Beaver Builder, and that's our editor here. And you can see this page has got a lot of content. Everything I hover over that's changeable is going to have a little box around it. So I can click in any of this stuff and edit any of this. It's that easy. So let's go down and let's add me as a custodian. All right. So we'll go down under Leslie, and we're going to say Mark Carpani. And I want it to look like this, so I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to bold it. And then I'm also going to add my picture underneath here. So if I come under Mark Carpani, I click Add Media. Now I can either upload a picture from here, I can use a stock photo, or I can go into my media library. So I'm just going to go to my media library, and I'm going to say, let's see, it doesn't matter what picture we use, we'll just use this one. And I'll do Insert, and you'll see now that puts it inside this portion right here. Now that picture's there, if I want to make it smaller, I can click on this picture, and I can come up here and I can make this picture any size I want. So I'll just do that. I'll hit save. So now we got our new janitor there, Mark Carpani, and there's his picture. And I'm going to do done and publish. And now when I go and visit that page, let me go to the front end of the page here and About Us. And this is the live site here. So we'll go down, and there's our new janitor, and there's his picture. So it's that easy to make edits to this new website. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Beaver Builder again. I'm going to undo my changes. Mark's been fired here, so we're going to get rid of him. And I'll just hit save. And now once I've hit saved, I can go ahead and that's already been saved temporarily. And let's say I want to change this top picture. Click on that picture, and it shows me. And you can hit edit, and you can either upload. Like if I hit select files, I can go in and select a different picture here if I want. Or I can go to the media library and select something that's already in here. So we can change it to any of these pictures just by clicking on it and hitting select photo. You can also go to stock photos and use any of the stock photos that are built in here. And you can see there's a bunch of different stock photos here. But let's say we want religion, and it kind of sorts those stock pictures for you. So we could choose any of these pictures here. We just click on this one and hit insert, and that would put it in there for us. We don't actually want to change it, so I'm not going to do anything there, but that's how easy it is. You want to change a picture, you just click on it and change it. So that's how to make edits. So let's say you want to add something to this page. So let's say underneath here we want to add another picture. All right. So we're still in Beaver Builder. We're going to click this little plus sign, and now I can add audio, I can add text, I can add a picture, I can add a video. There's all kinds of stuff here I can add. So we're just going to add a picture. So what I'm going to do is click on that and drag it to where I want it. And I want it at the very bottom of this section. So you can see I can drag it to underneath this text, or I can drag it down here, and it'll go underneath the text and the picture. So now let's say we're going to add a picture from our media library. We're going to select the photo, and it's going to be a stock photo, and we'll just make it this one right here. I can hit import. That imports it from the stock photos to our media library. See how it changed from this tab to this tab? And it's highlighted with the checkbox. So now I can just hit select photo. And you can see it does it in the background there, so you can kind of see what it's doing. So now if I hit save, and I go up here and hit done and hit publish, I'll go back to my site, and I'll refresh the page, and now you'll see that Mark's gone, his information's gone, and when we scroll up, we've got that new picture here. So let's say we like the picture, but we don't like it. It's a little too big. It's a little too square. So we want to change this picture up a little bit. We're going to go back into Beaver Builder. We're going to come down to the picture, and we're going to click on it again. And let's change the size from full size to medium. Okay, so I'll hit that and it'll take it a minute here, and then it changes the size of it. Now let's say we want to make it circular, kind of to match the ones up at the top there. We can come down here. Let's see. We go to Style. So from General to Style, and under Crop, we're going to pick Circle. And you'll see it change in the live preview there, and it makes it a little circle. Now there's other things you can do here too. You can do Portrait. You'll see how that changes. You can do Landscape and see how that changes. So you may want to play around with this a little bit just to kind of see what fits better. But we'll hit Save. We'll hit Done. We'll hit Publish. And I'll go back to the About Us page and I'll refresh the live site. And there's our changes. So pretty darn easy to make changes to this new WordPress website. I think just going in and playing around with it is going to be your best way to learn this here. If you run into any issues at all, feel free to reach out to me. I can always remote in and see the screen and see what you've run into and help you get through it. So don't be afraid to contact me with any of that information or questions. If you want to get rid of this stuff that you just changed, or this section you just added, let's say we don't like this picture, we just want to get rid of it. I can come in here and I've got some options here to move it. So I can move this thing around just by clicking and dragging it. Or I can click and duplicate it right here. There's some photo settings here if you want to. This takes you back to like the style where we changed that stuff. But let's say we want to get rid of it. We'll just hit the X button there. It's going to say, you sure you want to remove this section? Okay. And then that gets rid of it. And you can see we still got our little container holder here. We need to get rid of that too. Just hit remove and that's it for that. And then we'll just do done and publish again. And then we'll go back to the live site. That's the picture that we had. I'm going to refresh it and that picture is going to disappear. We're going to be back to where we were before. So that's about it. If you have any questions, any issues, anything at all, if you want to go in and make some changes, say you want to change a picture and you're a little intimidated, you watched the video but it's still a little intimidating, feel free to let me know and I can remote in and watch you as you're doing it and kind of help you through it until you get used to this. But yeah, it's pretty easy. So I think the more you kind of go in and familiarize yourself with the back end and the dashboard and the editing, I don't think it's going to take you long at all to get used to it. So I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope it helps you out. If you need anything, feel free to email me, mark@ctsil.com.